So with us now being able to utilize the ASP system for the second time on one character, I of course bit the bullet and started grinding out yet another push to BR 100. Why? Well, I hate myself for one, but because I also like creating dumb loadouts and builds, and the few more ASP points we get to unlock by doing ASP the second time around is going to help with that, which lands us where we are today. G'day there once again viewers, this is your mate Kamikaze78 here, and today we're going to be talking about what happens when you decide to go all in on your sidearm game in Planetside 2. Now, I'm going to be honest, gang, when I completed my first round of ASP all that time ago and spent all my points, the sidearm primaries ASP perk was not one I considered a missed opportunity. In fact, I always thought to myself, well, it's a fun loadout challenge and all, I guess, but with such a limited amount of points to use up, why would you spend it there instead of with something more universally useful? So the fact that I am, yes, here now, eating my own words, let's just say that I never saw this coming, but here we are. And the sidearm primaries was the first perk I picked up in the ASP2 run. So why the change of mind? Well, it all comes down to a cheeky little implant that was added not too long ago. It's an implant we've covered on the channel before, but not in this exact context. We're of course talking about Scavenger. For those who need a quick refresher, this implant will restock X% of your primary and secondary weapons magazines whenever you score a kill with a wielded melee weapon or with your sidearm. Now, this effect can be upgraded all the way up to a 30% return on every sidearm kill, which, as we've discussed before, does wonders for your larger capacity LMGs and such if you're stuck in a pickle, especially particularly good at resource management in those target-rich environments. But what happens when you run a loadout that sees you using two sidearms? Well, yeah, that means that theoretically, every kill you score with either your primary or secondary weapon slot here will see you get a 30% replenishment of ammunition back into both of your weapons magazines every time you score a kill. And I don't think I really need to elaborate too much here as to how dumb this kind of combination can be with the right weapons. Oh, I do. Okay, well, let's get into it. Let's take two NS45 pilots, for example, the platinum version and the standard one to clarify. These weapons sport 12-round magazines that can be extended to 15 rounds should you take the extended mags attachment. I chose to run laser sights on mine during this video, but it's worth pointing out. So this means that every time you score a kill with one of your pilots, you earn an additional 3 rounds back into the magazine straight away on both pilots. And for those who are interested, that jumps up to 4 rounds when you equip the extended magazine attachments respectively. Now, considering that the pilot with a perfect burst of headshots within the maximum damage range can one-hit kill a target, you can effectively score a kill on a target for free without needing to quote-unquote use any ammo out of the magazine, which is a hilarious concept in of its own right. But that's a perfect world situation that will struggle to hit 24/7. So let's say we end up coming across a couple of targets and we eventually end up running out of ammo in our first pilot. Well, that's not going to be a big problem here, because we of course have got our second pilot in our hands ready to go, and the kills we get with that thing are just going to passively reload the first pilot we just emptied. You can, with this build, under the right accuracy and right target prioritization, can effectively avoid a reload at all times. And the amount of tomfoolery you can get up to here is almost shocking for what is a loadout built entirely around 2 pistols. This kind of build also works incredibly well with a couple of commissioners. The 30% ammo resupply on the commissioner only sees it return 1 shot per kill, so you can effectively only score a quote-unquote free kill on a cloaker without nano armor cloak and you get a headshot. But in saying that, if you can effectively swap between your commissioners to maximize the amount of kills you can score before having to reload any of them, then you can definitely do way more than you ever could beforehand with just 1 commissioner or even 2 commissioners without the implant in tow. Hell, if you want to be extra crafty about it and you're confident you can score a 2-shot kill on a target, you can take your first shot with your first commissioner and then switch to the second one for the killing blow. You'll get an additional round deposited back into both commissioners, which will effectively take them back up to a net 0 of ammo expended getting that kill. It's a bit risky because you've got to account for weapon swap time, so do use it at your own risk, but it is something worth keeping in the back of your mind if you have a stupidly easy kill to score. But I'll be honest guys, the scavenger implant has really taken this build from being a little bit of a fun meme to something that is actually competitive in some respects. Like, you see those clips of infiltrators just running around Sunderers getting kills left, right, and center? That's become a whole lot more effective now with this build, because the more kills you get between your two weapons, the more ammo you get back to do more killing with in the first place. It basically provides a situational buff that sees the combo of taking two pistols, rewarding you for taking a risk that you normally wouldn't. I mean, why would you normally run two pistols on a loadout when you could take an SMG, a carbine, LMG, whatever? It's a high risk, high reward incentive that is a lot of fun to mess around with, but I feel like we can make it better. So let's do that. Ever since Ammo Belt had its effects changed to incorporate a 15% passive reload speed buff, I've had a newfound appreciation for the gunsling implant that also buffs your reload speed on sidearms by up to an additional 25%, which is a total reload speed buff of 40% when you stack the two effects together. On longer reloading sidearms like the Commissioner, that's a pretty sizable buff. I mean, and on weapons like the Pilot, if you blink, you'll miss the reload as well. So again, extremely powerful. So taking Gunslinger on a kit with two pistols also means that if you for some reason find yourself running out of ammo, you can get a couple of reloads done in the blink of an eye and be on your merry way. So the downtime, if it is forced upon you, is a whole lot less difficult to deal with now regardless. I mean, as I said before, with Gunslinger running on a Pilot, if you blink at the wrong time, you're going to miss the reload animation entirely. But that's not actually the main reason we're taking Gunslinger on a build like this, because as we said before, the whole point of Scavenger is to minimize the amount of reloads we need to do here in the first place by rotating between the sidearms as one of them starts to run low on juice. And instead, we're going to use the kills from the other slot as a means to passively reload its compadre, which is where Gunslinger rank 5's benefit comes into play. When you score a kill with a sidearm with Gunslinger rank 5 equipped, your weapon swap times are also reduced by 50%, which means that whenever you score a kill with a sidearm and you're left with little ammo to work with, even after Scavenger's effects take hold, you can quickly switch to your other weapon with basically no downtime and just continue blasting. On the combo of two Pilots in particular, it's almost like a second pistol just materializes in your hands before your very eyes. It's a little scary to watch unfold in front of you, if I'm being completely honest. This means that, yeah, score a kill with one sidearm and you can quickly switch to the next one to just keep the gravy train of certs flowing your way without interruption. Get the pattern down pat for the weapons you're using, and there's no denying that this meme just becomes a true unit on the battlefield. The combination of passively reloading your weapons as you use them to score kills, the increased reload speed you get if you need to go through a reload, and of course the increased weapon swap time should you need to quickly switch between the pistols in your arsenal, just rewards an incredibly aggressive pistol-focused playstyle that's actually a lot of fun to use. I thoroughly enjoyed using a combo like this. It felt like I was playing Red Dead Redemption 2 in the Planetside universe, just being a total gunslinger. And if you're somebody who wants to Araxium their pistols quickly, this is definitely the best loadout to do it on, because again, it's all about pistols, and everything from top to bottom is just all about buffing the pistols and their use cases. And I know in this video I've been basically using Infiltrator the whole time, but you really don't have to. If you want to do this with a light assault, engineer, hell, even a heavy assault, you can do it and get away with it quite easily. So again guys, the sky is the limit with this kind of build, and it's definitely a lot of fun to use. But guys, with all of that said, that is going to wrap up today's video. A bit of a fun one for you guys today, not really an official review or anything, just a loadout that I've been having a bunch of fun with in game that I felt like I needed to share. Now, I feel like this disclaimer should go out there for those who are getting into the ASP system. Should you take the secondary primaries option straight off the bat? Probably not. I mean, it is a fun build to run, but there are so many more useful ASP perks out there that you should probably prioritize in the grand scheme of things. But I figured I would just shed some light on this particular build in case anyone did decide to get the secondary primary option or anything of the sort, because I tell you what, you can have a lot of fun with this, and, you know, build it right and, well, the fun will come to you. If you liked the video, well, hit the like button, it goes a long way. If you disliked it, well, that other button works there as well, even though YouTube doesn't show you the count anymore. I promise you, my YouTube analytics definitely tells me it still works. Subscribe if you enjoyed the content and you want to see more. Make sure you turn on that notification bell as well. And as always, guys, all my social media links, including Discord, Twitter, as well as TikTok, can all be found down below as well for your guys' viewing pleasure. Once again, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Peace out, and I will see you guys all in the next one. Take care, guys. Have a good one.